What an absolute drama. This is literally all coffee. That's how I feel this morning. But I want it to be a thing and I want to make time for it. I am sold on this gym before work thing. Welcome back to another weekly vlog. Today I'm going to the office. I'm taking all my clothes because I'm going to the gym before I go into the office, which is honestly, this is the worst part of it, trying to keep your clothes crease free. But by the time I get there, they won't be. It's also raining, which is not ideal. I made my coffee. Made my Captain Lee Stud of the Sea, which I made for my husband years ago. It's quite the below deck fan. I made my coffee, but I can't actually drink my coffee yet. What I did forget is to bring my water bottle, but I do have one on my desk at work. So I'm just going to take all this stuff into the gym and deal with it later. I can't be bothered. Going into the office in my gym stuff feels weird. Absolutely essential. Snacks for the afternoon. We did a team building exercise at work. It was hilarious. So my job is planning freight trains, and the team building exercise was kind of like, it was almost like a board game where you all had to work together to get all of these wagons and locos all in the right places so that this passenger service could come through. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. You can tell that we all work individually. Nobody works as a team with anybody. Like if you say to me, this needs to be planned, then we just plan that thing. Like I would just plan it myself. We don't have to conflab, you know? So it was quite interesting when all of a sudden we had to like talk. We had people talking over each other, people being like, you making very snappy unilateral decisions. It was kind of hilarious. But it was really interesting as an exercise, and stuff like that can be really cringe, and it wasn't. So, you know, there was that. Then we've just been for a drink at the pub and everyone else has gone for some food, but I have got someone collecting something from Facebook Marketplace, so I'm going home. Also, obviously, I wasn't drinking. I was drinking alcohol-free. I tried the Peroni Zero today, and that was quite nice. They didn't have a lot. They had Heineken Zero, Peroni Zero, and Guinness Zero. I hadn't tried the Peroni, so can confirm, quite nice. Not my favourite, but quite nice. So I think it's called Zero from Corona. That's still my favourite one. When does this ever happen? I needed some ice and I was like, I'm not going to have ice. I only did have ice, but I didn't even make this. Who made this circle ice? Might have been the teenager. Oh God, they're both teenagers now. Actually, that's not true. One of them's not a teenager and that's the one I'm talking about. It might have been the grown-up child. Thank you for your past consideration, grown-up child. Good morning. It is Thursday. I look like this, but I'm working from home today and I'm working late, so it means that I can do all the things in the house that I need to get done, and then I start work at 2. I just put away all my clothes. So beginning of this week, I packed up my laptop. I sold one laptop, although it's wiped and I'm waiting for someone to come and collect it. That was the person that I came home, that I'd sold something yesterday. They ended up not being able to come to collect it, so I'm hoping they're going to come today. But because it's wiped, I can't use it. And then my other one I sent back because it just wasn't, it was broken, it needs to be replaced. So this week I haven't had a laptop downstairs, and so I've kind of felt like a bit of a loose end. I don't want to sit upstairs on my desktop working on things because I don't want to be like holed up in there. It's one thing if it's like you're doing this one task, but for the things that I would do on my laptop, it's lots of lengthy things, lots of little, where I can sit on the sofa and kind of not feel like I'm working, you know? So I decided this week that I would kind of give myself days off. So today I would have been doing things. I may do a little bit of editing upstairs at some point, but I would have sat down, opened my computer and like just, you know, tippy-tapped around. Because I don't have the laptop, I'm going to do things around the house that needed to be done. So last week's vlog, I kind of sorted out this area. I can't get over how much nicer it looks. It's so warm and cozy. I sorted some stuff out outside, just lots of things that I've been putting off. So today I'm doing upstairs. So I've put away all my clothes that needed to put away, done another load of laundry, which is so frustrating because then it like, the cycle repeats itself. I'm going to sort out my office, clean up some stuff in the kids' rooms, and then hopefully I will have time. I'm going to sit and do a face mask and read my book in the middle of the day. I'm really close to the end of my book. I, for the first time ever, actually sat and read a book. Like I have time where I have to sit in the car and wait for Milo to be done with his football training. So I'll sit and read then because I feel like there's nothing else I could be doing. Scrolling, yes, but I try not to. So I'll sit and read my book then. But I was sitting and reading my book downstairs in the middle of the day. Lee got home and was like, are you not feeling very well? Milo came downstairs and went, have you got a headache? Both because I didn't have the TV on. So that tells you something. But I want it to be a thing and I want to make time for it. I used to love reading. I used to read so much. I would read while I walked to work, literally while I walked. Also, I was going to make coffee this morning, but because I had an extra half hour, I woke up after Lee had gone to work. I don't want to make coffee just for me. So I'm going to have a Lucozade instead. I was literally here next to the microwave and I forgot that I was making popcorn. My daughter's coming home at lunch, so I've made some pasta, which I've realised is maybe not quite enough pasta for what I want to use it for. So I'm making some extra pasta because I want to make our lunch plus lunch for Lee and I. This is just, they're clean. For tomorrow at work. That's what we're having. We're just having pasta and cheese with butter. But of course, the secret ingredient, I'm so obsessed with this that I know it's gonna, like one day it's gonna turn and I'm gonna hate it. And I just don't want that to happen because I love it so much. But yeah, feeling very organised, watching some Gilmore Girls. This is just our whole vibe. Like if you're new to me, you do not understand. But if you are not, it feels like I've had a lobotomy. I've cleaned up everywhere today. I just had a delivery of things arrive and Ella basically said that these are all clothes that she would wear. And then she realised we were wearing the same exact nails, like square, exactly the same colour. I took a picture, it was ridiculous. So I'm like, who's copying who here? I got a little baby pink, what do we call this, baby pink? A pale pink t-shirt. Lots of kind of layers is what I was thinking. And because I'm in the office a bit more often, I wanted to have some clothes that I felt like, I don't want two sets of clothes. I don't want like clothes that I wear at the weekend, you know, office clothes and regular clothes, all but for trousers, I want everything to mix. So a long sleeved, like a burgundy top. This is very much inspired by an outfit that, I'm struggling to remember her name. Kristen Bell wore in Nobody Wants This, but I think she wore black. Brown is more my colour. I've been looking for something like this on Vinted for so long. So when I got an H&M voucher to spend, I was like, oh, that is what I'm buying. And then finally, another pair of the jeans that I absolutely love. Also, another pair of these. I am literally wearing those. Let me just stick you on the window. I'm literally wearing those trousers today. This is my outfit of the day. I've given myself a challenge of getting dressed every single day. I'll give you my whole, actually what I'm wearing underneath. This I bought secondhand. I bought this from a charity shop at Roma. Is this on backwards? I feel like it's on backwards. Was it on backwards? No, it wasn't, never mind. This is from River Island, from a charity shop. And it's so cozy, I love it. But this was my original outfit. I feel like a Spice Girl. These are so comfortable, but they feel smart. So unlike wearing like leggings or joggers around the house, Manny, are you involved in this? It feels like the comfort of wearing joggers or like pajamas, but there's something about them that to me feels really smart. Maybe not to you. So this is my work from home outfit for the day. But this is definitely the colour of the season. It 100% goes with my soft autumn palette. And so this was kind of the basis of my clothing haul. I mean, green kind of goes in with here, but this is it. I'm trying to introduce more colour. That's a good way of doing it. Feels kind of earthy. Hey, Manny, you're being so weird today. You're being so weird today. We've just been sitting here eating our lunch and watching Gilmore Girls. Manny was just sitting at the bottom of the stairs like, well, I suppose nobody cares about me. Now I'm logging on to my regular day job for the rest of the evening. Although I do need to go and get Milo from school in about an hour. Lee's got my car today because he's taken it to have someone look at the clutch. So I'm driving his car. First of all, it's an automatic, so my car's not, and I have to remember constantly, don't move your left foot, don't move your left foot. But also, he drives very low to the ground compared to me. It's 10:20. I finished work. I'm gonna set up the coffee machine for the morning because I have even less time than usual tomorrow. Not only do I want to get to work earlier so that I can get to the gym, but Milo has a school trip, so I have to drop him off at school a little bit earlier too. So with that in mind, and in the interest of getting in all my sleep, since I got this smart ring, I am quite excited about getting enough sleep at night. Get a little reward of good job, well done. So if I can get to bed a little bit earlier, I'm more likely to wake up re-energized according to this app. So I think I'm gonna go get in the bath and then read my book. Maybe I'll finish the book. We're here, we're at work. It is Friday. I'm here earlier than usual, obviously, because of Milo's school trip this morning. So I'm hoping, also fully bare face because I didn't have time to put my makeup on. So I'm hoping I can get in earlier and get out earlier to just, polish myself somewhat before I have to sit in the office all day. Also, this is literally all coffee. That's how I feel this morning. Tell you what, it is warm. It is warm after the gym to then have to get changed into regular clothes. It's not my favourite thing. Oh, this is a bit snug actually. And I've already taken the tags off. Thankfully the jeans fit. What an absolute drama. Lost my car keys on the way back to my car. It was an extra stressful day today. Extra stressful day all round. And now it's raining. So, went to the gym this morning. Great. I am sold on this gym before work thing. Never thought I'd say that. I could have done without the ring when I've done my hair. But yeah, love it. So I went to the gym, did loads of weights. So tomorrow I'm not going to be able to move my arms, which is not ideal because we're going to babysit the baby and we're going to take it to the seaside. But that's for another day. So that's a tomorrow problem. Everyone was a bit low because it was a bit of a rubbish day. And are these going off or have I turned them on? I can't remember. So me and a couple of girls went to Asda at lunch and got some snacks, some party food, some mocktails, some cups and whatever, to kind of cheer everyone up. And the afternoon, stressful as it was, felt a little bit alleviated. And I thought, that's great. We're on a bit of a flyer. We're leaving a bit earlier than we usually do. Got to my car, no keys. I knew I had those keys in my hand because I was specifically thinking, I don't need my keys to unlock my car because as long as they're on my person, I'm fine. But I do need my keys to unlock my house. I usually get home at a time where Lee's walking the dog. So I knew I had my keys in my hand. They weren't there. I went all the way back, looking everywhere, went through all my bag, took everything out, couldn't find it anywhere, walked all through the car park, lost forever. Someone had already handed them in at reception. I had dropped them in the car park. What a palaver! Anyway, it's Friday! The week is over. So my plan was to lay in the bath for a little bit and relax this evening, but I can't do it. I can't just lay in the bath. So I got out of the bath and I got into bed for a little bit and I finished the book. For those of you just joining us, this is significant because I have not finished a physical book that I'm not reading to the children in 10 years. Me and Milo have read books together. It's different. This is like just for me, actual full book. I started reading a different book called Light Lark by Alex Astor. Got about 3/4 of the way through. It took me about 8 months. I have still not finished that book. I was starting to feel like I just don't have it in me anymore to read a book. Like I discovered audiobooks 10 years ago, never looked back. And then more recently, I'm like, I feel like it would be a good thing for me mentally to really get back into reading, like quiet time with myself. I used to be a voracious reader, loved it so much. Used to literally read while I walked to work. I used to commute. I used to read on every lunch break. I just read so much. I mean, a lot before having kids, but I was basically a child then. And I don't know, audiobooks, because I have ADHD, it is difficult to dedicate that kind of time. I do struggle with focus, but it is one of those things that the more you do something, like it's a muscle. And I stopped putting myself through that. I stopped like focusing on focus. I stopped flexing that muscle. And so it just went away. And I really, really struggled to even want to do it. And so this year I challenged myself. And last month I bought this book in New York. I walked all the way around the Strand. It's a huge bookstore. It was nowhere near the front. I literally just like randomly plucked this from a shelf in the back. Absolutely judged it by its cover. Turned out it's like a bestseller and they're actually making it into a TV series for Apple. But I just want to tell you, I finished this book. Would highly, highly recommend. In a nutshell, someone comes home from a night out. She's drunk. There's a man in her house. The man turns out to be her husband. Everybody else says he's her husband. Photos on her phone confirm that he's her husband. She cannot remember this man. She sends him into the attic for something and another man comes down. And so come a steady stream of husbands from the attic. It's a magical attic. All the way through, I'm like, I don't understand how this is going to go. I kept trying to guess how it was going to end. I have pretty good pattern recognition. Did not see how it was going to end at all. It was a fantastic book. Brought a tear to my eye in the end. But most importantly, I finished the book. So let this be a lesson. Sometimes the choices you make aren't the right choices and you need to pivot, because I was truly ready to give up on this commitment to read books because I just chose the wrong genre. I didn't want to go rom-com, which is what I was always like rom-com reader. I wanted to try something different. I should have gone mystery in hindsight. I'm glad that I palate cleansed with this. I'm now going to delve into a whodunit kind of situation, something that grabs me, something that's not in, something that's grounded in reality, that's not in a fantasy realm. I thought fantasy is really popular right now. I'll love it. I don't really even watch a lot of fantasy TV shows and movies, so I don't know why I thought that. But I finally changed the book and I finished it in no time compared to the other one. So yeah, this is a major win for me. It's going to sound so stupid, but it really, really is. Yeah, anyone that can recommend anything, not fantasy, please. And fairly light, please do. But yeah, I finished the book. Tonight's non-takeaway easy meal is bao sliders. I'm going to have the prawn ones. Lee's going to have the chicken ones. Itsu have released a ton of new stuff. And I love their microwavable. This is like a steam in the bag situation. I don't even think you have to... No, you just steam them straight away. Okay. The other things I really like from them are soup dumplings. And I've got some in the freezer because they've got some new flavours. But I've never tried these ones, so... Yes, I could take them out of the plastic, but why would I? It's a nice little way of keeping them separate. They actually smell delicious. And although it's going to be hot, nice. Bao buns were pretty nice, actually. I would say we had them on their own as like our entire meal. We weren't massively hungry. And it was enough food, but I felt like it needed to be with something. It felt quite dry. I maybe would have at least made like a little sauce or something to have it with. Anyway, right now, I'm going to go and get my niece. So I'm going to wrap this up because the weekend is here. This was my working week vlog. I thought I would just do things a little bit differently this week. Let me know what you thought. And today we're going to go to the seaside to see Lee's dad. We've got the baby to babysit at the same time. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.